Now people think they can fry chicken and they think they can fry it well, and they probably can to a certain extent, but can you do a double dredge spice mud blue cheese mayonnaise chicken drumstick? Let's find out. Let's get it. So, first things first, the spice rub. The paprika we're going to use for this is smoky. We've got a sweet smoky and a hot smoky. It's really hot. Ebanyabam. Paprika in, cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, coriander, and then we're going to blitz up some of these stunning dried chipotles and get those in at the end. Baby! We're going to put half in that spice mix and leave the rest back for the spice mud. Give that a good mix and just put that to one side. I've got chicken drumsticks here. You can use thighs, you can use breast. Frying chicken on the bone is what it's all about. It's the sweetness, it's the juiciness that you keep when you fry stuff on the bone. So that's our chicken and our buttermilk in. Good amount of milk. And we're going to hit it with that stunning smoky spice. What's going to happen is the acidity in the buttermilk is going to start breaking down that meat of the chicken, tenderizing that chicken. So when we fry it, we're going to get something really juicy, tender, and perfectly spiced. So the flour mix is super simple. We're going to get the flour in and then some of the spice just on top. You want to make sure there's enough flour to dredge the chicken properly. Just give that a mix with your hands. It should go a pinkish colour. Blue cheese mayonnaise. Blue cheese mayonnaise, it's tangy, it's rich. It's got that stunning acidity we're gonna put in from the white balsamic. Beautiful aged blue cheese, a little bit of buttermilk, a little bit of sour cream, a little bit of mayonnaise, and that's just gonna help bring that rich but light consistency that you get when you mix mayo and dairy. So mayonnaise into your bowl, hit your 2 dairies, good splash of that white balsamic. And you want your crumbled blue cheese. Small as you can, it's a waterfall of blue cheese. So now we've got some herbs, parsley, dill, and there's a little bit of chive hanging around in there as well. Herbs in. Give that a good mix, stick it in your fridge, and this will keep for about 3 days. If you're doing all this for a certain person who's coming over, you know, it could be a loved one, could be a friend, could be a love interest. Get this done the day before, get your dredge done the day before, get your chicken marinated the day before. They turn up, you bang it all out of the fridge, stick on some Luther Van Dross, and you're frying, baby. Spice mud, what is it? It's a dressing. Acidity, sweetness, fat content, flavour coming from the spice, the smoked chipotle, smoked chipotle, smoked chipotle, smoked paprika, cumin, coriander, onion powder, garlic, salt and pepper. These things are going to make this chicken sing. The oil's in there, the honey in there, the malt vinegar cutting through the fat and the sweetness, and we're left with this mud, this flavorful mud. So this chicken has been marinated now for about 12 hours. I'm gonna have a designated wet hand and a designated dry hand. That way, if the phone rings or something needs seeing to, you've got a dry hand just to keep bits moving around. So that's a double dredge. Milk, flour, milk, flour. And when you get it out of the bowl, when it's done that second dredge, you squeeze it. You squeeze it to massage that buttermilk and that spice in with the flour. And then when you tap it off, you end up with these gnarly pieces of chicken that are gonna blister and crisp up when you fry. Onto the frying. We've got a medium pan. We've filled it with veg oil, just under halfway. Now for when the chicken comes out of the fryer, we're gonna get together what is called recovery equipment. What is recovery equipment? It could be a tray with a paper towel on it. In this instance, I'm using a tray with a cooling rack over the top. This is going to allow the grease to drip off of the chicken and for it to cool gradually, so you don't get those little soggy bits. Now when you put the chicken into the pan, 2 things are going to happen. It's going to bubble, so put it in gradually and gently. Also, the temperature of the oil is going to cool down. Because we haven't got a commercial fryer here, it's not going to keep a consistent temperature. So you want to keep the oil heating as the chicken goes in, so it keeps that first consistency. So I'm just picking the chicken up here and placing it gently into the oil. We're gonna dip it in gradually and gradually, frying away beautifully for 6 to 7 minutes. You want golden brown, those crispy flakes of chicken slowly caramelizing in that hot oil, the sugars from the flour caramelizing and crisping up in that hot oil. Once the chicken's cooked, take it out gently with your spider and then place it onto your cooling rack. It's going to stay on the cooling rack now for at least 6 minutes. So we're going to put a good hit of salt on these drumsticks just as they come out of the fryer. And that hot oil is going to stick the salt to the outside of the drumstick. And then we just glaze and slather back and forth all the way over the drumsticks until they're completely covered. The heat from the drumstick will heat up the oil and the honey and the vinegar and almost create a glaze over the top of that drumstick. You're encasing it with that beautiful smoky flavor that you've tried so hard to create. Blue cheese onto the plate, and then you put the chicken drumsticks on. These have been glazed, sticky, stunning. That smoked chipotle, that smoked paprika, all the spices and all the mud. Marinated in there for 12 hours, beautiful and crispy, and then laid onto the plate. We finish with our spring onions, and that's it. Imagine this, all your boys are sat down, they're all sat down, watching the game there, and you just walk in, you just glide in, you just appear with this stunning platter of beautifully spiced chicken with blue cheese mayonnaise. You're a legend, instantly finished. And thank you all!